Thank you very much for downloading episode 21 of Gamify 24/7. Now this week, I missed the bus. Well, in other words, I didn't make it to the actual recording of the show. So I left it in the very capable hands of Anton, Kat and Shaun to record the show and to create some audio which is glitch-free and sounding perfect, and also talking about this week's biggest releases and all the biggest gaming news of the week. Thankfully, they pretty much managed that. There was a little bit of rustling in the audio, but I'm not going to hold that against them. And it was just at the start, and then it's perfect. But apart from that, guys, I'm going to give you a solid 91% for your audio recording. Anyway, it's time for Gamify 24/7.
Well, guys, we're here for podcast. This is 21, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Oh my
Episode 21.
God.
This is a
crazy,
big
quick.
birthday. We get presents, this one.
Yeah, where's our presents?
The best present.
Viewers have not sent us presents in. In fact, we've not even got Michael here. Well, Michael's going to be joining, doing the intro and outro. So if you're wondering where Michael is, unfortunately couldn't be here this week. So we're just going to go over some news stories that we've kind of seen over the last week. Covered our... Well, it's actually been... Was it last week we did a podcast? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, on Monday.
Forgetting what it was. There's been so much stuff going on. But yeah, we'll just go over some stories and let you know what we've come up with, and drop us a comment, let us know what you like about them, what you don't like about them, whatever. Anyway, let's get on, my guys.
So, first bit of news. SEGA Forever is a new service.
Yeah.
You go, you pay. It's only for mobile right now, but apparently they want to take it to consoles, and you just go in there, and apparently they're going to have tons of SEGA games that you can go ahead and play on your phone.
Yeah.
Can you not already do that kind of stuff though?
Pretty much, but this has all got a brand connected and has some questionable emulation apparently.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's got the games that have already come out in App Store and Android Store, so Sonic Adventure and Sonic, whatever it's called, the Sonic game.
Right.
And it's got stuff like that, but now you can get them all in this one package, SEGA Forever, and you can download them for free, you can play them, but they are supported by adverts, so that's why it's free.
Right.
So you have the big stupid adverts you get. But you can just quickly skip through them after a few seconds. However, I think you can pay for it, the subscription thing,
Yes.
where I think it's on a per game level, so if you don't want the adverts, then you have to pay, I think it's £1.99 or $2, and then you can get the adverts gone. But I think that's per game per month, potentially, which is a bit rubbish. You know, it'd be good if they'd done a service, we were just talking about this, Anton, it'd be good if they'd done some sort of type of service where you pay £10 a month, and you get access to all the games ad-free. I'm quite keen on the fact that, you know, I like the idea that they've got that ad-supported version, so you can do it for free. However, as you said, the emulation is apparently garbage. Apparently there's lots of frame rate problems with the games. They are using Unity now to do it. That's what they've used to convert it over for this new thing. That's why it might be coming to the Switch and to the other consoles. But they really need to get that fixed. You know, I was dead excited about it. I covered this on the Daily Fix. I was hyped about this because there's Dreamcast, Mega Drive. What's the other game? The other console they've got?
Saturn and Master System.
And they've got another
Game
one as
Gear.
well. They've got an older console as well.
Oh, the SG-1000?
Yeah, they've got that as well. And I thought, this is awesome. But it looks like they've made a mess of it. Hopefully they fix that and it'll turn it a bit better. Kat, is it something you're interested in?
No. I'm sorry. I was kind of sitting there like, playing with my hair like, yes.
Do you not want the Sonic in your life? Everybody's favourite hedgehog?
Yeah, see, I saw a good face mask that looks like it's a Sonic kind of face mask. It was advertised to me on Facebook the other day. It looks really metallic and blue to put on your face, and that's that was interesting.
You have to get it and take a picture of it.
I kind of want to get
I'll
it
post
just
that.
because it looks really cool. So yeah, maybe. That's about it, really. I'm not that much like a Sonic fan or anything. Like,
Tear.
I'm certainly not enough of a fan to even play it on my phone. Like even if it's free, I don't care.
Any PlayStation stories this week that have caught your eye?
No. I'm sorry, I've not really seen that many things
Yeah.
in the last week. I think it's just the aftermath of E3. Everyone's kind of trying to wrap that up now.
Yeah.
So I think it's just people are still talking about all the stuff that went on there.
Anton, anything else caught your eye?
Just following up the SEGA Forever one, on the bright side, SEGA's actually quite good with their adverts when they're coming down to their games. So I've got the ad-supported version of Sonic CD, and it only shows a ad at the beginning of the game, and then once you get past the title screen, there's like no more ads.
That's alright then.
So if they can maintain that, hopefully they do. This might actually be quite good, especially if we're getting like a Dreamcast game.
Yeah.
Watching a ad to play a Dreamcast game, I'm quite happy with that. Saying
Assuming it runs alright though, that's the
yeah,
thing.
of course.
You know, I think if you're investing that time into downloading the program, installing the game, going through the advert, and then it's garbage.
Yeah.
You know, there was some confusion as well about the controls. People were saying the touch controls are terrible on it as well, but you can link up Bluetooth controllers.
Yeah.
So if you've not been aware of that, you can do that. I don't know how to do it in the settings, I've not checked it myself, but you can apparently link up. And there was some guy who was online, I was actually watching his vlog about this, and he thought you could connect up the Dreamcast controller. I was like, well, obviously not. It's not got a controller port for that. But Bluetooth controllers, like the Switch controllers or the Xbox One controller, maybe you can't even use that, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
it's a
Apple
USB.
has their own proprietary interface, but I imagine Android works with PS4 controllers.
Right, so a PlayStation 4 controller. So yeah, Bluetooth controllers will work. Talking about Nintendo and Sony, Nintendo's market capitalization, or capital, is now bigger than Sony's, considering that Sony does movies and everything as well. The Switch has obviously jump-started it, especially after E3, and they're saying that they're going to ramp up production because it's been selling out everywhere. Looks like that's taken them well above it, so that it's something like 48 billion or something in market cap. Pretty impressive if you're into your business stuff. Maybe time to buy shares in Nintendo.
They're in a weird state right now because neither of them are really safe bets for investments because Sony's got so many different working parts. You could lose one of those parts, no problem. If you say to me, oh yeah, Sony Pictures is bombed this year, I wouldn't be surprised. Or Sony Music's not doing well this year.
Yeah.
Like, you could lose any of them, even their like hardware divisions like Xperia. But saying that, the PlayStation division's like a safe bet.
Well, I think that's the thing with Sony. I think Sony's game stuff has been amazing the last few years, as in that's what's kept them afloat essentially. They've been losing money in their film stuff for ages now.
Definitely.
They're using big cameras, though.
I think they're losing money in that. I think,
Really? The
I think
cameras are
all
really
of their
good.
other areas are losing money, but the game side has bolstered it all up. So it'll be interesting because when Spider-Man comes out, I'm pretty sure that's a Sony film.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, that explains why the blinking Spider-Man at the PlayStation conference, wasn't it? I just was not impressed by it.
But apparently the film's meant to be amazing.
Yeah, it's been getting good
I'm
reviews.
just sick of it. I'm sick. Like everyone was like, "Oh, Wonder Woman's so good as well," and I just was like,
You watch it?
"No, I didn't want to." I was like, "I'm not
It's
paying
good.
to see it." But nah, it's quite good. I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy too, though. I know that's completely different.
The
'cause it's
best bit.
Marvel.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Yeah, see? Yeah, exactly. Oh.
That was the best bit ever. Have you seen it? Have you watched it?
No, I find it funny. We've not
just
had
giving away.
Mike here
Spoiler.
for 7 minutes and we already went off
We're
topic
talking
and started
about
about
films
music.
now. But yeah, that was a good film. Anyway, but I have just looked up some news because I didn't know anything. And there's apparently a flash sale on PSN now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sales are really good,
weekend.
especially on Steam.
Do you find that Sony does quite a lot of sales quite often?
Oh,
though?
loads of sales. But that's a really good thing. It just means if you're wanting to buy a game that isn't pretty new,
Yeah.
you just wait for the sale. Just wait for it because
That-
it will be in a sale at
That's
some
what I'm
point.
thinking that it's like creating though, like any new games even. I'm like, well, I don't know what to buy it because in 2 months' time it's going to be on sale.
Yeah, it always happens to me that I buy something finally. I'm like, finally, this is a good price. I'm going to buy it, and then it's free on PS Plus the next month, and I'm like, ha ha.
Damn you.
Yeah, I know.
That's like, to me, that's a sign of a company trying to get, it's a little bit greedy in the sense that they're trying to get short-term sales without thinking the longer-term picture for the company. Is get everyone in right now, but what happens is you create this buyer's apathy that you're like, well, I just spent a bunch of money and now you're screwing them over. I'm not going to buy something off you again in the future. Kind of what we're talking about with Xbox. It's like, you just bought a machine, you know. So
I
that's an
know.
interesting one.
I fall for it most of the time though. I'm not even going to look right now because it'll just tempt me. But I've still got Persona to finish, and if I get tempted to buy something else, it's just going to sit in my library for ages, which is what happens to all of them.
If you're tuning in, is there any games you're going to be buying on the sale? Anything you're interested in? Let us know in the comments.
God, I think I checked out the Steam sale and I regret everything. I've checked it 3 times. Like I went in there, I was like, okay, these are all the stuff I want. Went back in again, I was like, okay, I'll get this. While I'm here, I'll get that. It's just, like in the Steam sales, I think I spent £20 and I must have got like 25, 30 games. Easy peasy.
See, and then
you
that
play
all
them?
sounds amazing,
No.
but then I wouldn't play them all. Yeah, because I can buy, like I bought Journey in a PlayStation sale at the same time as I bought, what's it called? The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
So I bought both of them in a sale at once for a really good price, and that was well over a year ago, I think, and I have only played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. That took me like about 6 months to
Not played
actually
Journey yet?
start it. I started it, but then I was like, this isn't as amazing as everyone says it is, because everyone's just like, oh no, you need to play it, it's so good. And I just played it and I was like, I'm just some little tent running around a desert. I didn't know what I was. I was like, this is more. It just seemed more like a skills based thing
Once you start
for
getting
me.
into it, that's a great game, by the way.
Really?
Like,
Is there a story? Because I was
Yeah, the
annoyed
story's-
about
the story-
there
the story's
being no
amazing as well.
story. I
It
was
was
just like, what am I doing?
it almost makes you cry. Like, honestly, it's such a good story.
Really?
Oh.
I don't
Because
know
I
if-
was just like, this is really skill based and nobody's told me what I'm supposed to do. I'm just running around and I don't understand.
Well, just to give you a little into it, like I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but throughout the game, me, Lindsay and Kirk watched this. When was it, Lindsay? It was a while ago, wasn't it? We watched Journey with Kirk, and I was never that keen on the game myself. And then Kirk was like, it's the best game ever, play it, watch it. Because Kirk played it, and what he said was the best part was, he was just playing, and because there's no voice chat properly,
Yeah.
some guy came into his game, just appeared in his game, but even though there was no voice chat, they instantly knew what each one of them wanted to do. So he was like
So
moving
can
his
someone else
character.
play with me?
Yeah, they can come in as co-op sort of stuff.
Oh, for
And-
God's sake, I didn't know that. I was just running around this desert on my own, like, what am I doing?
Well, that's what happened. Like this guy came in with them, and then both of them were just like kind of gliding down the dunes. But he said Kurt was like this, so kind of nudging his character to say, "Come over here." And the guy came over, and they were following each other. He said it worked really, really well. It was beautiful.
That sounds cute.
But the best bit I thought about it watching it was, as you started getting through the game, he gets older and more worn down as he goes.
Really?
And his scarf gets shorter and shorter and shorter.
No.
And it's like by the end
Aw.
of it, it's like
This
and you
sounds
play
like
it.
Passage. Did you
Possibly.
never ever play Passage?
Was that by
No.
the same company? No?
No, it was like I don't think so. It was just a little game you could download for free, like on the computer, and it was like pixelated, and you just played as a guy, and you could choose to. You just went from like one side, you just walk through all these pixelated bits, and that was just it. You could like meet a person, like a woman, at some point, and she would follow you if you wanted, and then. Spoiler alert, sorry everyone, the game lasts about 5 minutes. I think you've only got 5 minutes. So you can stand in the same place if you want for 5 minutes, then you're dead. Or you can walk as far as you think you can go. You don't have to take the lady with you, you can just go on your own. And then it's
Well, I
one
think
of you
interesting.
die. Well, she'll die, then you die at the end.
Well, I think that journey thing, I think we watched it, only lasted for about an hour and 10 minutes. But it was cool just watching it. So even if you're not going to play it, I'd watch it like someone playing it online.
I'm gonna play it because I want the trophies. It's like I'm sorry, that's how sad I am. I'll play something just for the trophies. I've also got in my catalogue again. I bought Heavy Rain and
Oh,
Beyond Two
very
Souls.
nice.
I've still not finished Beyond Two Souls. I played
God.
Heavy Rain and I went back and did a different ending that I basically had to play most of the game again to get that ending, which I won't say on here because that will ruin it for
Ruin it for
everyone.
them. Right, moving on to, following on from E3, we mentioned it earlier, there was obviously the announcement of Beyond Good and Evil 2 that's coming out by Ubisoft, and we're not sure about platforms yet, it's still up in the air. But during the E3 presentation, it was just a CGI video, so we never got to see any in-game stuff. However, since then, Michael Ansel has went online, and they've got a video on YouTube. Go and check it out, it's 14 minutes long. He's shown off some of the engine and the tech behind the game, and he's got the main character, one of the main characters, the monkey guy, I don't know what his name is, but they've got him, and he's shown him flying around, the difference in the ships, the size, the scale, and it's pretty spectacular. You can see it going right from the planet side, flying up all the way to space, and it's seamless, and the planet scales it beautifully. It's pretty impressive stuff. And that's the whole point. He was saying that before they wanted to do this, but they never had the tech. It couldn't do it as seamlessly as they wanted to do. So that's why they held off. Now they can do it, that's why they're pushing for it. But it's looking pretty impressive. And the fact that they've got this engine and the tech there, it seems like they're a bit further on than what we might have imagined. Because when they announced the E3, people were thinking, yeah, it's another 7 years away. But it might not be. This might actually be coming out in the next couple of years. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, I could imagine that because they announced it, 9 years ago. So I imagine for them to re-announce it now, they must be pretty confident that it's going to be round the corner because I don't imagine them announcing it beginning. You've waited
Isn't that
9
kind
years.
of like The Last Guardian though?
Yeah, 10
where they
years
were
or
like,
something.
wow, here it is, it's actually going to happen, and then it was delayed even after they said that it was going to come out.
I remember they did that with Duke Nukem Forever as well. It's like after 16 years of development, I think it was, and then they delayed it again. They're like, yay.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But to be honest, at that point, it's almost like a joke with that game.
I also just never think, if once they tell you the release date, I assume this could get pushed back at least a couple of times.
God damn it. Anyway, yeah, so that engine was called the Voyager engine. That's their new engine, and yeah, it was Space Monkey. That was the Space Monkey. Anyway, they've got their Space Monkey program online, and you can sign up to that. Next story I've got it was one for VR, some VR news. So we've obviously seen Oculus Touch or Rift, the Oculus Rift Touch. We saw that, and we got the guy showing it on one of the episodes on podcast. He talked about it. For what his name is? Rajiv, that was it. He was talking about it. Well, it looks like Valve's now got their next stage of their motion controller. So if you're used to the Valve ones, quite clunky and bulky and stuff, this new one is kind of taking that a little bit further, but mixing in Oculus Touch style input sensors. So it now attaches to your hand around your knuckles with a strap. They can sense your movement of your hand, and on the sticks themselves, that's now capacitive as well, like the Oculus Touch Rift. Oculus Rift Touch, sorry. And when you lift your hands off, it means you can take your hands completely off the controller, but they won't fall down because they're attached by the straps. And it means when you put your fingers on the actual sticks themselves, it knows which finger you're putting on. So instead of the touch where you only see one finger maybe moving or a couple of fingers, you can now move all your fingers independently. So it's got a little bit more gesture-based stuff as a result. I think they've still got their touchpad on the top, like they have with their what do you call it, their touch pad thing.
Oh, the Steam controller.
Yeah, Steam controller one. So it's using that, the haptic one, it's called. So they've got that, and yeah, it's looking pretty impressive. So this looks like it's the next stage for VR controllers. And yeah, what's your thoughts on that, guys?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm all down for advancements in VR. I don't think VR's ready for myself. I'm just holding off, and then I'll finish back.
It's not ready for Anton yet, everyone.
You can't handle the truth.
VR is not ready for Anton.
Yep.
But I would really like to get PSVR just because out of all of them, that's the only one that I have the technology to actually get it as well, because I don't have a good computer, and I would be able to get an Oculus. So I'm excited to get that at some point, because it's definitely on my list. But again, I don't know what games I would. I don't know how much I can see myself sitting down having enough time alone to actually play it.
Maybe it just becomes your life though, Kat. You just become...
I'll just live in VR, like work, I'll go to work in VR.
Could you imagine Sims VR? That would end me.
I would be God. I would be God in the Sims VR, wouldn't I? That's who I would play as, because I'd be controlling everything. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Maybe the power would go to your head.
It would definitely.
I'm God here!
Yeah, and you'd just be like, I'm going into the place where I'm God. And just at the end of the day, if something had annoyed you at work, just go into your own world at the end and be like, oh, at least I control everything here.
Maybe you can make characters from your work. You could just destroy it.
And be like, oh, Katrina got a promotion again, I see.
but then you come to real life and you're like,
I know.
It's like dreaming when you wake up for a really good dream and you're like, oh, in the dream I won like £1,000 and I went and I had the best meal ever, and you wake up and you're like, that was a fake.
Yeah, exactly. So, I will get VR at some point. So any advancements they're making, while I don't have it, that's all good, because that just means when I do get it, it'll be better. But I keep saying, like, I feel like there needs to be more games, and obviously there were more announced at E3 for PSVR, so I'm excited for them, especially the Impatient. I really want to play that. I think I'd be too scared to do it on my own though. It'll get in my head and I'll actually go mental or something.
More mental. What's interesting is, I'd really like it if more of these things were cross-platform. There's a lot of games on Rift and Vive that aren't on the PlayStation VR and vice versa. And it's like, well, if you buy one of them, it's a big outlay, £600 or £700 for one of those computer PC-based systems, or £350 for the Sony one. And it's like, well, I'd like to have content from all of them, but I've got to buy £1,000 worth of hardware now. It's a bit frustrating, but hopefully we'll start getting more and more of these games coming.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting scared that the PlayStation 4 Pro and PS4 aren't actually as powerful as we need for VR. Because it's doing fine for a lot of these, like, minimal experiences.
Yeah.
But looking at like what we've got in Vive and the Oculus right now, it's like a lot of bigger games are going there. I'm like,
yeah, you wouldn't like. Well, Resident Evil 7 wasn't a massively long game, but it was kind of standard single player campaign length of a game, I think, and it did work out quite well in VR. I think that's what was starting to sway me a bit more. Like I could take it more seriously now because that's a title that everyone recognises, and having played it myself, I realised you could actually play the whole thing like this. Yeah, you'd need to take a few breaks, definitely, because I don't think I could have handled more than an hour at a time. But it's definitely possible to play a whole game, which is what I kind of, before I'd played it, I wasn't so sure.
I think it comes back to that thing, we discussed it before. One of the potential problems that VR's got is, it's like the Wii, when the Wii came out. You've got to play it to get it. And if you're just telling someone, here's a great game on a VR system, go and buy VR, you're like, it's too much an investment, it's too much of a risk.
Yeah.
So, you know, something like Resident Evil, that was an amazing game. And I can say it because I played the game, it was brilliant. But anyone coming into that would just be like, well, what's the benefit? I can buy it on the, like PlayStation 4 or Xbox and play it normally.
No, it's so much,
so much
more
better.
Scary. You get so much more into it.
There's games like Farpoint has just come out in the PlayStation VR, which I want to get it, but there's two things holding me back. One is, well, you can buy the game a bit cheaper now, but it was like £30-40. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be a good game or not because it was a new style. Then you had to get the AIM controller, which is like a bundled thing.
Yes.
That's sold out everywhere now, so I can't even get that. So I can't buy the game without the controller, which will cost £70 unless you pay for a second-hand one, which will cost you £140 now. So it's like I'm holding off before I get this, and it's annoying because everyone's saying it's amazing, but that's the thing, it's like it needs to be more accessible to get you convinced to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I had known beforehand and played the demo of that game, I might have actually pre-ordered it, but I never pre-ordered it, and now I'm screwed because I'm waiting for the next peripheral to be available. So it's kind of screwed me over. And it's the same with stuff like, what you call it, Star Trek Bridge Crew. Now, we've talked about this again in the show, I'm hyped up about it, I'm still excited about getting it. I've just not bought it yet because, again, it's £35-40 for a game that I wasn't really kind of sure how good it was going to be. Seems everyone's loving it and I need to really get it, but they need to make VR more accessible if they want people to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on it.
Well, that's where I think, like what they tried to do, Microsoft did with the Kinect, was for pretty much every Kinect game for the first ages on 360, they would release a fairly decent length demo. Like I had the Kinectimals one. I thought about buying Kinectimals because it looked quite cute, but I swear to God, that demo was the longest demo I've ever had, like ever. Because I kept playing it and I kept being like, have I bought the game but for free somehow? Because it's still going. So I think that was to try and make you get quite into it, like offering you a beyond standard level of a demo just to try and make you get into it. So maybe they should consider putting all these on the PlayStation Store.
I think every VR game needs to have a demo. It needs to have a demo. And that gets rid of drivel, like ones where it's like an hour's game for 30 quid, where people feel ripped off because you can't get away with that with a demo because it's too short. I think if you going back to the Resident Evil, they got it perfect. They got it perfect with a game. They brought out the kitchen demo, and it was like it lasted for about an hour, but you didn't get to experience tons of stuff. It was just enough to hook you.
And they did it well for the non-VR players as well, because I played what was the original demo called? It wasn't the kitchen for normal PlayStation.
But the previous, the first one.
Yeah, I played all three versions actually. That was really cool. That was weird. I'd never experienced updates to a demo before a game before, so that was really cool. So yeah, Resident Evil, they did it right. I think they should keep going in the vein of that with VR.
Yeah, I think like what's good though is it looks like it's not going to die out anytime soon. Sony's supporting it, which is great. I think we're going to get more and more games coming forward. It'll probably be a couple of years before we see an update to Sony's controllers and get the next versions of console version VR. But the fact that it's not died out, it's looking like it's progressing. We're getting new types of controllers like the VR knuckle ones from Vive. Things are looking good for VR. So moving on then, let us know in the comments again, by the way, VR, have you got a VR headset? Which one do you have? What's your favourite parts about it?
Or even just, have you tried it? Have you had the opportunity to try VR? And what did you think of it when you did try it? Because for me, the first time I tried it here, I didn't know what it was going to be like, because I've obviously used like the Google Cardboard, which is just the cheapest of the cheap using your phone and stuff. Even that, to me, I was like, oh, this is quite impressive. If it's similar to that, I'm not going to splash out. But then trying the actual PSVR, I was just like, this is so much cooler.
See, the thing I find weird about VR, it's like, I'm interested in it and I enjoy it, but I don't know what's holding me back. Like, I couldn't even say myself. So if you have tried it and are not buying it yourself, audience, what's holding you back? Because I don't know myself.
Right, so moving on to Call of Duty Remastered. It's Call of Duty 2, isn't it?
It's
Modern
4.
Warfare.
Which one was that?
Is it?
Yeah.
I always forget which one's which. There's so many of them. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, remastered for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and I think PC as well.
Was that one of the most popular ones?
Yeah, that was.
I feel like Modern Warfare 2 was really popular as well. I had absolutely no interest in it, especially like back then. I really didn't pay any attention, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was the one that really kicked it off, because the first 3 were just like clones of Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
then
I used to get them
4
confused all the time.
kicked off the shooter craze.
Yeah,
then they like got more and more popular up until Black Ops 2, and then the franchise kind of slowly died.
Yeah.
Well, it's not dead, but not doing as well as it used to.
What I'm not sure about is, I don't think they've given details on this, who's actually making the remaster. Remember we said about Switch, they were saying that Beanox was the ones that had done the Wii versions before, the Wii U versions of Call of Duty, and they were possibly doing something Call of Duty related. Is this them?
I'm not too I doubt it, because I know this is PS4 exclusive. What's kind of surprising for...
No, it's coming out, I think it's, I think it's only been announced for PlayStation 4 yet.
Yeah, it's because they gave it away last year if you bought Infinity Warfare.
Yeah.
And now that was like for all the platforms. Now, if you want a standalone one, you can only get that on PS4. Well, yeah, that's interesting.
So what's Beanox working on then?
I have
Maybe
no
they're
idea.
still doing something for... Interesting one. That's due to come out on June the 27th on the PlayStation 4 for $39.99, $40. I wish they stopped saying $39.99, just say $40.
I know.
It's like, do people really think like that?
Well, I think if you bought 100 things for something 99, you'd have a whole $1 left. You've saved it. You saved all your
I like
pennies.
your positive thinking, Kat. It's
There you
good.
Boom.
I don't know what it's going to cost in the UK. I presume we're going to have it here, 30 quid or something,
Probably
maybe
be like
29.99.
40 quid.
Yeah, £40 exactly.
It's like-
£40 and 1 pence.
Yep, save your penny.
Now, the other thing was L.A.Noire releasing on
L.A.
Nintendo
yes.
Switch, potentially.
L.A.Noire.
Nori.
No, honestly, someone came. I used to work at a game shop. Someone came to pre-order L.A.Noire. So that's the thing, and also Wonky Dong. So those are real people out there who come and ask me. I think Wonky Dong was like a older mum type character who didn't know what she was really wanting to pre-order or order for her son's Christmas or whatever it was. But L.A.Noire was just a guy who had never obviously used the word noir in his life. So yeah, there we go.
So yeah, the rumour is that it's coming to the Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. It's a remastered version. There is also rumour again, PlayStation VR wise, it looks like there's a rumour that it's possibly coming to that as well in first person mode or something similar. Now obviously we know that Team Bondi it was that made the game. At the time, it was they've gone now, haven't they? Because there was some controversy around
Something
it, wasn't
was involving Rockstar, wasn't it?
it? Yeah, wasn't they weren't paying something or staff?
it was something to do with a staff dispute about pay, I think.
But that was using their cutting edge technology, wasn't it, for the facial stuff? That was the big thing
facial
about
animations, because a big part of the game was being able to tell if someone was lying or... Yeah, it was like telling the truth or lying, or what was the middle one? There was kind of a middle ground between it.
I remember that game being really awkward because you can tell the voice actors were like super concentrated on their face, so they're moving their
They
face
had
a
to
lot.
be. It was like way more shifty. Like someone would say something, and if they were lying, they would just be like looking around everywhere constantly, and you'd be like, if I'm lying to someone, I'm not going to sit and like swivel my eyes all around the room constantly and just look around and shift.
I suppose it's the equivalent of stage acting compared to TV acting or film acting is when you're on stage because you're away from the audience you've got to exaggerate your movements. Even the makeup is exaggerated so they can see it from a distance. Whereas on TV, the slightest movement, if you're sitting there, you find that your head moves quite a lot, but on stage that's fine because you're like, it's tiny compared to the actual main thing.
Yeah, so that's, I think, they had to exaggerate, just be like, lying. But they are lying.
Winking.
It always made me laugh because the whole game is generally quite serious, but then you had these super over animated characters like, this is a murder. This is real. And then you just have this character
It's
just like,
they had to use the same voice clips loads, like just sound bites different ways. Like I can still remember Cole, the main character, put the weapon down now, and his voice would be like, "Argh," and his mouth just opened far too wide for anyone to ever be saying anything. And yeah, certainly, detective. That woman on the phone all the time. Whatever phone you used, the same woman answered it. Every single time.
My God. I'm optimistic. Being optimistic here, if we do get this game running, that means we have the Rockstar engine running on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let my imagination run wild with that, and I'm happy. Imagine Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto on Switch.
Well, there was a rumour about that. There was a rumour about Red Dead Redemption potentially coming to the Switch. I don't know if that would happen. You know, there was a few years back when the Wii U first came out and the other consoles were there. I remember stuff like the Snowdrop engine and all that kind of stuff. They were talking about how scalable these engines were. And they were saying, oh, they're so scalable from a top-end PC down to a mobile phone. And then for whatever reason, a lot of that skipped to Wii U. And they were saying it's not powerful enough. And they've kind of started doing that as well now. But I can't handle it. But I keep thinking, well, what happened to all these engines that these companies were building that were meant to be scalable? So it'd be interesting to see if it's just purely just a sales thing, like you were saying, with the Switch. If once the numbers are there, they start saying, yeah, we started making the games for it now, and we started getting things like Red Dead Redemption scaled in a little bit.
I definitely think it's just the sales thing, and this is their excuse. Because if you think back to like the DS days, they were porting Call of Duty to the DS. I'm like, you know, scalable. What can I say?
It's like, especially now, even more so than anything with the Xbox One X, that they're saying that the game's got to be the same across all the versions of Xbox One. And the only thing you're essentially getting is like a PC scalability where you'll up the resolution or you'll up the textures or stuff like that. That must be a scalable engine they've got. So why couldn't you just scale it down a little bit further to not an Xbox One S, but a little bit less and go to a Wii U or Switch type graphics? I don't see why that's not possible. 720p even, well, lower resolution textures, lower quality audio samples or something. It's doable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so interesting stuff. What's you guys have been playing this week, apart from us playing Mario Kart earlier? Anton won, and Kat came second. I came last by 1 second. God damn it, 1 second.
It was generally quite an intense competition because we did 3 rounds.
I'm gonna say I wasn't like really stressed and trying super hard.
Wait, so you're making me even worse now?
Sorry, everyone. I was just pretty casual about the whole thing.
Anton, what games have you been playing?
I've been playing a bunch. I've just been jumping across games. I've done ARMS, I've done Sonic Heroes.
Do you like that title I put for ARMS?
Half-Life.
We get our hands on arms, but does it have legs?
Oh,
I saw that. I quite liked it.
Good one, wasn't it?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Watch Half-Life.
just the first one. I've never played the first one. I've played the second one, but I was like,
as well. I never played the first one.
I still like the second one better though. I like it way better.
I'm surprised how well the first one's holding up. Like I'm only.
Are you playing like Black Mesa, like the?
No.
Oh.
Chris played
Original.
that, the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's apparently amazing.
It's with the same engine as like Half-Life 2, isn't it?
Okay.
It looks really, really good.
Very nice.
I actually tried to get a voice part in it, you know that?
Really?
They actually they put up a thing and they were looking for voice actors, and by the time I went to apply for it, it was too late.
Oh.
I was like, God damn it!
Damn, son. That would have been good.
What sort of games are you playing, Kat, now?
God, I've been playing Persona still.
It's going to last you forever, isn't it?
It's going to last forever because I keep just dropping in and out due to the rest of my life happening. I'm still in the first castle. So I've still...
Is that where the Princess Peach is? She's in another castle. I'll get my coat.
Yeah.
Bring Mike back.
The first castle they're called castles. Like they used to be like, kind of like it's like the TV
Dungeons.
world, like basically dungeons. I'm basically crawling through a dungeon at the moment. It's taking a really long time, and I feel like I've accomplished very little. But I've got a part-time job now.
Are you still enjoying
it? Yeah, I'm enjoying it more now that I've actually clocked on to what I'm supposed to do in the castles. Like, there's a different way. Like before, it would just be like in 4, you'd finish a fight, and then there was like cards that you'd randomly get at the end, and sometimes you could get like a persona
Okay.
via that card. You know, it would
boost it,
mix them
couldn't
all
you?
up. You get a new persona that way.
Yeah.
And you collect all these new personas, and then you go to the Velvet Room and you mix them all up basically to make a better persona. And that's how you progress, and you collect all these really good personas, and you can choose so many abilities for them. So you've got your arsenal of abilities by the end that you might need. So I've got like one persona which has got ice powers. I've always got to have a few that have healing ones as well, like fire, electricity. You want to get a good variety so that you've always got a persona that will have the power needed to be a weakness for another one that you're fighting, like a shadow. This time it's different, and you've got to talk to them. If you can make them yield, which you do by knocking them all down, you can chat to them, or sometimes they'll just beg for their life, and you can ask them for money or an item, or try and get them to
Come
be
on
a
your
new
side.
persona for you. But to do getting the whole new persona thing, you have to understand their personality type, which it told you before if you looked at it, which I hadn't been doing. And then you have to talk to them and use the kind of right replies for their personality type to entice them into going with you. Otherwise they just turn hostile again or vanish and don't give you anything. So
Cool. Remember, we've got our actual full review of that on the YouTube channel. Connor done a review on that about a month and a half ago or something.
so you can see little bit snippets of
Go
the
and
game and
check it
stuff
out.
on there. But yeah, otherwise I'm...
So following on from the E3, just to wrap up, we obviously saw the games at E3. What was your best part of E3, Anton?
Undertale Limited Edition. It looks pretty cool. It comes with like
Was that shown during E3?
it was shown in the pre-show for PlayStation, like 5 minutes before. So I was hyped for the PlayStation bit, but yeah, it's really cool. It comes with like a locket. Well, it's got a music box inside of it, so it's like really nice.
it looks super cute.
And the Sonic Forces trailer got me hyped. So
When's the Undertale due out? Is it this year?
you think it's this year, but they haven't gave much details about it because we don't know like prices. We don't know availability. We know it's exclusive to Fangamer, but bar that, we don't know anything, and it's on Vita and PS4 and PC.
Yes, I know. I'm excited for the Vita version because it's one of those games that would be really, really fun to just play on the go.
Yeah. When's the Sonic one due out?
Sonic Forces, that's out October 27th, I believe. And yeah, that looks awesome. That's a Switch game. It looks gorgeous.
That's one where you can change. You can customise your character now.
Indeed, yeah.
There was a little bit of worry about that one because of the customisation thing, but it seems a lot of people have been pretty hyped up since E3 when they saw the new trailer.
Yeah, they've shown it off, and they've got all of the bad guys from so many of the previous Sonic games.
Yeah, they had the Emerald Sonic and everything, didn't they? Silver Sonic, Emerald Sonic, I think, as well.
Yeah, they had Silver and they have
Emerald
Shadow.
Chaos, one of the Emerald.
Oh yeah, Chaos, yeah. And what's really exciting about this is it's not done by the team it's been doing the last couple of Sonic games. Like it's not the Sonic Boom team, it's not the Sonic Lost Worlds team. It's the team that's done Colors, which was a fantastic Sonic game, and Generations, and they did the good part of Sonic Unleashed. So having them come back and they haven't done...
Not the Shadow bit or whatever it was.
The werewolf bit,
werewolf
they've
bit.
not got that team there. So fingers crossed we've got a good game here, and as well as that, it's got the longest development time of any Sonic game. So I'm
really hope they get it right. Really hope they get it right.
Likewise.
How many Sonic games have come out that we've been like hyped about them? Maybe they're going to bring it back to glory, and then it's rubbish.
Yeah, I've been through all of the Sonic games, and it's like the last few you just look at, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't look hopeful. Like Lost Worlds, I was like, why did they have to change it? They were on such a good path, and then boom, I was like, I saw the trailer even before they called it Sonic Boom. I was like, this is going to be awful.
Kat, E3, what was your favourite thing from E3?
I don't know what my favourite thing was, like just one thing. There's a few things that stick out in my head that I probably wouldn't have thought about until I saw, like at the conferences, some demos, which one of them's Metro. I can't remember what it's called anymore.
Exodus.
I said it earlier. Exodus, yeah. Metro Exodus. Never played a Metro game, never read a Metro book, but that trailer, it's probably because it was part of the Xbox conference and I was not enjoying it that much. Then that came along and I was like, actually, this, and amongst all this other stuff, looks way better. This looks really, really up my street. So I've done a little bit of reading about it just to kind of understand what the series is about. And yeah, apparently you're in the Moscow metro kind of station, like underground, after a nuclear apocalypse type situations.
It looked cool in the trailer for the Xbox One show thing.
Yeah.
Looked
It's
really cool.
multi-platform, so I will be able to get it for PS4. So I'm looking forward to that. God of War also impressed me.
That's January, is it? January 2018 or
It's
something?
an early
No.
2018. I'm guessing March then, still like my previous
That's cool, that it's quite close though.
guess. Yeah.
It's not like another 2
It's
years
good.
away or something.
Exactly. It's looking good. I've never played them before either, so I wasn't sure if it would be more like a beat 'em up style, which it looks a bit like that kind of Arkham games, but at the same time, it looks quite interesting. It looks like you can. It makes you feel cool, I think. It looks like one of those ones where I'll beat loads of people up and be like, yeah, I'm good at
cool.
this.
I'm
good
Mary
at
Poppins,
this.
y'all!
Yeah, exactly. So there was those, and out with any of the big conferences, Call of Cthulhu got another trailer. No release date yet, though, even though it's coming out this year.
That's the one
Q4
that's
this
based
year,
on,
apparently.
What's his name again, the writer?
H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, like I love Lovecraft stories. They're really, really good. It's a weird form of horror. You don't see it that much anymore, but I think it's maybe getting more popular, more psychological, more hopeless, I guess. It's a lot to do with mental, just going absolutely crazy, basically. A lot of it to do with not being able to escape your genes. That's like, I think that was kind of the worst
Is it tight
thing.
ones?
Oh.
Yep, exactly.
nightmare to get off.
But it's like I think it's that hopeless thing of that it's a part of you that you cannot change,
Right.
and you can't get out of it a lot of the time, and most of the time it leads you to just going mad, or madness is a big thing with it.
Listen, I've tried taking off skinny jeans and they're a nightmare to work, and they do make you go mad.
So yes,
Bring it to
that
VR.
that one is looking good. The Impatient.
Yep,
I'm really excited for that. If I had VR, I'd be really, really
Well,
excited.
we'll try and get you here in the studio.
So
we'll play it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think maybe there's the vampire game as well by Dontnod, the makers of Life is Strange. It's their one set in Victorian London, where you play as a vampire who I think is a doctor or something like that.
As they always are.
It's an odd combination, but it's choice based as well.
They both take blood. It seems like a perfect
Exactly.
combo.
That's a good point, yeah.
But there's other. It's like it's known that he is one. I
I
think.
want your blood for an experiment.
But it's good. Yeah, it looks good. It's getting there. I've been watching that one for a while, and I think maybe apart from Life is Strange, those are my ones that I'm looking
Cool.
forward to.
How about yourself, Sean?
I don't know really. It's, like I said to you guys before, like Metro Prime 4 and Pokemon, I was just excited to hear they were coming, but there was nothing shown for them, so it's kind of hard to get overly excited. I wasn't anywhere near as excited as some people online were. Mario looks cool. It looks like that's going to be a pretty good game, and from the hands-on experiences from people at E3, seems like it's another kind of big, massive tentpole title for the Switch, so it's good to see it getting games like that. Other games, I'm not really sure. It's Xenoblade 2 looked quite good. There's a couple of Switch games look quite nice. The Metroid game on the 3DS looks quite cool, but
Yeah.
I've not got my 3D in my 3DS now, my new one. I got rid of that a while ago, so I'd have to steal Lindsay's Animal Crossing one to play it on. But apart from that, yeah, there were some games, the Xbox One games, the Metro looked cool. There was games on the PlayStation 4, some of the PlayStation VR stuff looked quite cool. Nothing really jumped out at me. I wasn't like blown away by anything. I'll have to wait and see. Anthem is one of the big ones we mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah.
Anthem just just on a purely visual level, on a graphic horror level, that was awesome looking. Whether the game's good.
You thought what? You were just like he said.
You said graphic. On a purely visual level, but I don't know if like the game's going to be good. I'm hoping it's not going to be one of these typical looks incredible is rubbish. So.
Well, see, I thought it looked really good, but now that I have thought about it today, and since we've been talking about E3 and stuff today so much, I was just like, oh yeah, if I'm having to describe Anthem, it's this game set on this planet. There's a wall.
Yeah.
You go out into the open world, and you use a suit to fly, and it looks a bit like Avatar. Then I was like, what's the
Avatar
story?
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Why did I go out? I was like, what do you do? What's the story? Other than you're leaving like the safety of this place to scavenge, but like it seems very organised scavenging. So what's the story?
Cool. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. Kat, you can find Kat on Wasps and Cakes on YouTube.
Woo.
Check out her channel. When's the last time you done a video?
I last posted a video on Christmas Eve, so
It's a Christmas special.
It was when I went to Iceland, so you can learn about me in Iceland.
But go check it out and leave some comments on cat stuff. And Anton, you can find Anton on Deathmaster X7.
Worst username in the world, and I'm not changing it.
He is the Death Master.
It's unique. So what's the last thing you done? You just done recent?
Yeah, I did one today. I got a trailer up today.
Check that out.
Or yesterday if you're listening when this episode releases, and I'm going to have videos every week on Sundays if I keep up with it, or if not, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
But hopefully they're good. At least have 3 more videos coming, so 4 videos this year. More might come.
Good stuff. And as always, head over to the YouTube channel for SmallFryUnify and you see the latest podcast from us. I see it, listen to it, but it's got a picture there. So check that out. We've also got the Daily Fix from myself for some regular updates. And we've got Games Lounge Series 3 where we've just filmed some for episode 4, but that will be a couple of weeks away. But check all that stuff out, leave us some feedback. Remember and hit the subscribe button on the channel, so if you want to get notifications, click that as well and you won't miss anything. We'll catch you guys next week and we'll be back with Mike as well. Take care, thanks for listening in guys. Bye!
Bye.